Team Renaissance Consulting from the University of IBADAN, Nigeria. Give them a hand.
Good afternoon, members of the board, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for making it to this emergency board meeting. There are 5 issues before us, and we'll prioritize them according to their urgency, financial impact, the ethical implications, as well as their correlation to the new strategy 2025 plus. The strategic structure and cost optimization tops the list, followed by the e-mobility strategy. Then we have the driverless technology issue and the MEB platform. We'll be treating these 4 issues today, while we'll treat the Navista acquisition at a later time. The more reason why that is so is because it does not correlate with strategy 2025 plus directly and to a large extent. Your second KPA, in which you aim to have an initial public offering of the truck division, has already been achieved. Navista acquisition has nothing to do with electric vehicles or autonomous vehicles, in which you are really on right now. So I will start with the strategic structure and cost optimization. Members of the board, there is an uproar as regards the strategic structure and cost optimization. The CEO has appointed 4 new directors, alongside the appointment of a services executive. For a public company with over 640,000 employees, this is outrightly wrong, because there was no input or consultation from the board of directors in making this decision, while the CEO proposed that this will greatly increase consistency and reduce redundancies. From the case problem, we've seen that the solution didn't solve any of this problem. In fact, it escalates the issue. We have much reduced pay levels amidst employees and anger and resentment within your staff. Here is our solution: that the CEO presents a proposal for the new decentralization strategy to the board of directors with concrete justification. So we propose that there should be an ultimate of these new directors that have just been appointed, and the CEO take the normal routes of presenting the proposal with concrete justification, and if this is approved, the management board properly engages all stakeholders of the company as to the reason why this is important, and the proper onboarding process is done for any employee that will be employed in the company. Next, we have the e-mobility strategy. There have been rumors in the news that some electric vehicles that are already with the consumers. Why there's a pending ruling that some cars are at the risk of catching fire or even causing a high risk of failure. This has not been confirmed yet. So while the issue is still in the news, we recommend that you investigate the production process of these suspected vehicles to confirm if truly the carcinogenic material, which is the cause, as it is said, is the cause of this material, can actually cause these accidents. If via proper investigation it is found that we are truly and fully innocent of this, then we are good, and we wait for the pending ruling from the courts. If the research proves guilty, if this investigation proves that the Volkswagen Group is guilty of using this improper equipment, we recommend that you perform a voluntary universal recall, which will cost 1.5 billion euros as stated in the case study. We propose that you source for this fund from the recent IPO you made with the truck division, and for the long-term strategy of the charging facilities infrastructure, which is an external problem, as it is not only the Volkswagen Group that is faced with this issue. From the customer survey results, the customers are greatly worried that there are not enough charging facilities. We strongly recommend that you partner with other OEMs and even other players in the electric vehicle market and construct charging facilities, as this will aid the production of the vehicles. Sean will take us through the driverless technology issue.
Members of the board, Ford, you signed a contract, a memorandum of understanding with Ford, allowing you, Ford proposed to you to invest 30% in the agro AI company at a price of 2.6 billion euros. after taking a look at this, at the financials, we discovered that Ford paid just 1 billion euros for 60% stake in that company. And as a result, we believe that this their proposal is largely overpriced. So as a result, we recommend that the board table a counter offer to Ford, offering to only pay 650 million euros instead, which gives 100 million euros more than the actual market value of Agro AI. And if Ford still refuses this offer, we recommend that the board invest into a more reputable AI firm within the AI industry. Next, regarding the concerns of the critique, which state that the electric vehicles might cause, the driverless vehicles might cause accidents. If it's interesting to know that only less than 10 accidents occurred less than 10 deaths occurred in a driverless Tesla car, and furthermore to know that only 240 units of these cars were sold, and 240,000 of these cars were sold. And if you look at the slide, it is the probability of deaths occurring within a Tesla car was only, in the US market, was only 0.004%, 0.0042%. And taking this probability into account, irregardless, we recommend that the board invest more into the safety of driverless cars, and also the CEO call a PR meeting addressing the general public of the acknowledgement of the fact that these safety issues in driverless cars exist, but also what Volkswagen is intending to do about them. Next, in the MEB platform problem, we realized BYD proposed that you enter a joint partnership with BYD. And during this, after looking at this proposal, we realized that it is financially viable, given the fact that in 8 years, Volkswagen will put out 3.27 million cars and earn a revenue of 274 billion euros. And after calculating the net profit, we realized that you would have earned 47.32 billion euros within the space of those 8 years. But there is an issue, although it is financially viable, there was an issue in the proposal stating that Volkswagen cannot sell cars within China, which is a problem, given the fact that China is the largest EV market in the world. And also, Volkswagen is the leading automobile seller in China. So given this fact, we recommend that the board renegotiate this proposal, stating the fact that they acknowledge that it's financially available, you acknowledge that it's financially viable, but renegotiating around selling within China, allowing you to sell within China. And in conclusion, if the board implements our strategies, our recommendations put forth, we believe that it will accelerate your plans in achieving the Strategy 2025 Plus agenda. Thank you very much. And if there are questions, we'll take them now.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was an insightful presentation. We thoroughly enjoyed it. I want to just clarify, because on I think it's the MEB technology, where you said, do not, sorry, let me just get it. Yeah, the driverless technology. Yeah. You said, do not invest outrightly. Yes. Right? And then you said negotiate contract terms. So yes. Which one is that? Must we turn them down? Or do you still think it is a discussion with them? And if they were to agree to negotiated contract terms, are you then saying that we should go for the deal? Which one exactly should we do?
One of the KPIs for Volkswagen is to achieve driverless implementation into electric vehicles. So it is important that you have driverless technology within these vehicles. As a result, we recommend that you renegotiate the deal or at a much lower investment of 650 million. And if they further disagree, we recommend that you invest in another more reputable AI firm. That answer your question.
It does answer my question. Then on the strategy, structure, and cost optimization, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I know you said that the CEO should present the strategy, the centralization strategy to us. And only if we approve should they go on. I thought you were also going to tell us what we should do with this conflicting executives. Do you think we should just let them go? We should fire them? Or what do you think we should do? Did you consider that tangle, that dilemma that we currently have?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Firing the executives will be a step too far, as these executives were not even carried along from the beginning of the process. So we believe that it is not fully their fault because they were not engaged. There was no stakeholder engagement in this process. So we believe just by calling the executives and making them know the pros and cons of and the essence of this centralization strategy as might have been agreed on the board level. And so if they now fail to comply with what the board presents to them, then the necessary disciplinary actions can be done. But for now, we will not recommend that you fire them.
Gents, thank you very much for the presentation. I have a question about e-mobility. So if we already identify that it's an issue and we have an issue and perception on the market, we have a Dieselgate, we have a brand reputation fragility, can you explain more why we go for research and then depending on the research we do the recall? Can you explain your rationale, why you're doing that? Also, please explain if you consider the cost that doing this research will take and potentially the perception that the market will hear that you are doing some research about these products.
Thank you very much. Can we take a minute to...
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Regarding the first question was research. Why do you have to do research? The recall costs are already really high. 1.5 billion euros is a lot. So, and these are still pending. We've been hearing this in the news. It's still pending. It isn't. I think it hasn't been confirmed. So we believe that it's more important to carry out the research to determine whether or not current investigation, determine whether or not it is going to be, and if it is, and the cost of research wouldn't we predict that we estimate that it would not be much because it would require just a small team of individuals to carry out this research. And the final question was consumer perception based on this. Based on our thought process, we believe that we know that consumers, no third party is involved with our research, with our investigation. And to the best of understanding, it is not illegal. It is not unethical to carry out investigations on what is happening in our market. So we believe that there will not be any downside in consumer perception. The downside would occur if we decide not to recall this car, sir. Is that a question?
Thank you for the presentation. Good presentation. On the MEB, you indicate that you want to renegotiate, but if one evaluated, this is a discretionary investment because of the opportunity that exists. Why would you not say it's not an interesting proposal and invest further in that?
Thank you very much, sir. As Sean said earlier, China today is the largest EV market, and 40%, up to 40% of your sales revenue in the last financial year came from China. So if these contract terms are approved and BYD continue the production of electric vehicles and are sold exclusively in China, they are not allowed to export out of China, and we are not allowed to sell these cars in China. Eventually, there will be a gradual transfer of customers because BYD will be producing electric vehicle market, which we all know is the future, and Volkswagen customers in China will start buying BYD vehicles. So this is why we think this is a red flag as regards the contracts.
Gentlemen, hello. Thank you. I've got 3 questions if I'm lucky. Let's see. My first question is about your MEB platform. And I'm interested in the options you considered. So I know the recommendation you made. What other options did you consider in this scenario?
We also, pertaining the MEB platform, we considered the fact that if this proposal does not come through, we could invest in producing these batteries in China ourselves. Although it might take a lot of capital cost, we might invest.
Sorry, just 1 second. Do you mean invest in producing these cars?
Yes. No,
Okay.
the MEB, we already have a plant in China that can produce cars. So it is the batteries that we need to produce within China. This is largely why we are going to a contract. So if we could produce the cars with batteries within China and have them shipped to one of the manufacturers in our manufacturing plant within China, we could produce it ourselves. This is another option we could take, another approach we could take, sir.
Okay. So in other words, you'd make the cars at your existing plants? Yes? No? Is that what you mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other options that you considered?
No.
Okay, no problem.
Yes,
and then likewise, the options that you considered, if you look at the strategy, structure, and cost optimization issue, I've seen your recommendations there. Can you unpack for me what you think are some of the problems or issues in this area, and some of what I'm more interested in, what are the options or solutions you could consider? So firstly, tell me, point form a couple of specific problems you see, a couple of options you've considered as solution.
Okay. Firstly, the problems in this issue was that there's the operation of the Volkswagen Group is not with the approval of the management board, as Rupert Stadler disagreed. Then there was no consistency because executive directors and even local teams had to hire.
Okay. So you've got you tell me what's on your slide. Move now to some of the solutions that you've considered.
Yeah, so in solutions we considered, if the board decides to still go ahead with this restructuring, this structure, we recommend, what we've considered is that the board inform the management why they approved this. So there will be synergy between the management and CEO. And the board talks to the senior managers. Since the senior managers are bypassing the sales, the executive, so they talk to the senior manager, which would talk with the other lower level management.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.